Welcome to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast, where we deconstruct the methods, marketing, and mindset of successful business people and chiropractors from around the world. And now your host, Dr. Richard Day. Hello, this is Dr. Richard Day back with you again. I was planning on talking about something else today, but this is really something that is in my heart, it's in my gut, and I feel the need to really talk about it. And partially because it's upsetting to me, and here is what it is. In practice, I always ask people if they had a method of being adjusted that they preferred. And I usually, but even before that, I would say, have you seen a chiropractor before? I wanted to know, were they adjusted with an activator? Were they adjusted with diversified? What was the method that they had, or did they have a preference? And I wanted to also hear how they responded to it. It would help me to, I think, deliver better care. But along with that, I a lot of times got back unsolicited information that I really wasn't looking for, but was glad to hear. And that is how that chiropractor treated them, or even why they weren't going to that one anymore. And too often, and this is the part that kind of annoys me, and this is why I wanted to talk to you today about it, it was because there was something that was borderline unethical that chiropractor was doing. And it galls me because I am proud of this profession. I love this profession, and it's very frustrating to me when I hear that this is going on. And here's the type of things that they would say. They would say, well, I went in there and I had this issue and they said they could help me, but they said it was going to take 24 visits and I needed to give them half up front, and it was going to be about $1,500 now and then $1,500 in the future. Another example is, well, they didn't always tell me what was wrong with me until the next day. And if you've been around chiropractic at all, you've heard that. Some of the gurus out there tell you absolutely never give your report of findings the same day. Sometimes there's scare tactics involved. Guys, I have never done that. I don't like anything about it. It's just not who I am, and it doesn't resonate. And guess what? It's not the clientele. It's not the patient base I want in my office. I don't want people there because I scared them or because I got them to sign some contract and they'll be in breach of contract and I took thousands of their dollars up front. And unfortunately for some chiropractors out there, maybe that's the only way they can be successful. I know people carry student loan debt and they have expenses of doing business. You want to eat, you have to put a roof over your head. But really? I worked in retail sales for a number of years. It was straight commission. And I built up my clientele by treating people right. I took care of them, and they went and told people, and I got sent business. I'd get paged to the front of the store. I'd come up there. There were some people who were just standing there. They had bought a TV from their neighbor, and their neighbor said great things about me, and I gave them a good deal and took care of them. And there they were. Easiest sale that I ever had to go take care of. You're basically ringing up the customer at that point. And in sales, they call it a lay down. It's when someone just walks in and they just lay down and they say, sell me stuff. I trust you. Well, in chiropractic, in healthcare in general, can you think of a more trustworthy relationship that's necessary? I can't. If I'm going to go to a dentist and they're going to drill around in my mouth, I damn well better need to be able to trust that person. Do I want my wife going to an OB that she can't trust? Who's buying steak dinners for their patients so that they'll come in and get examined? Really? That's not what I want. So there are people that have been practicing a lot longer than I have. They've seen a lot more, and maybe I'm missing something. But that's not how I like to be treated. And if you look around at other businesses, whether it's a restaurant, I don't care if it's a dry cleaner, a landscaping service, you treat people right. You take care of that person, and that client is going to go out and tell others. And there is not a cheaper way to get patients out there. I mean, think about it. Patient A walks in your office. You take fantastic care of patient A. Patient A goes out and they talk to potential patient B, C, D, E, and F. And maybe even beyond. And you didn't pay for that. In fact, they came in and they paid you, right? They paid you. And now they're out in the community and they are singing your praises. And the next person comes in and the next person comes in. And that's how you end up with a reputation. So it frustrates me. And here's where I want to flip it. seize upon that. That's an opportunity. That's the way I look at it. If someone comes in and they've been wronged, or even if they haven't and they feel like they've been wronged, that's not us. That's not how I do business. Relax, patient. I'm here to take care of you. And guess what? If I'm not the best fit, I'm going to tell you that I'm not the best fit. If my services as a chiropractor aren't getting it done for you, I'm not going to make you come in for a year before we say, hey, this isn't working out. I'm not collecting money up front from you when I don't know how many visits it's going to take. And guess what? It's not the same for your 6-month-old and your grandparents and you, is it? I mean, let's be honest. You had 4 MVAs in your history, but this is the same treatment program as your 6-month-old? Does that make any kind of sense to you? Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, wait, doc, it sounds like you're a pain doc. And you know what? When the pain goes away, so does the patient. Well, to a certain extent, that's true, right? Doesn't hurt anymore. Why do I need to go back? Well, that's not exactly true. There are some people who are going to understand what it is we do. We educate them over the course of their treatment plan, no matter how long that is, about the benefits of being taken care of chiropractically. But we always leave that option up to the patient. They're the ones in charge of their health care. Again, not because they were forced to, but because they decided to and they wanted to take better care of themselves. And it is my job as a chiropractor to, in little bits, little drops, drop little tiny nuggets of education. And they can decide for themselves. Everyone does better when they are not forced to do things, right? If you're forced to lose weight, maybe you don't take it as seriously and get as much out of it as if you've come to that decision on your own. And now you're really motivated. It's from within. It's always from within. Has to be, if it's going to be effective, right? Want to quit smoking? It's because you decided. Not because your family kidnapped you and put you in a car and we did an intervention. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. I think it works a lot better when you decide. So these are opportunities. And if I had one thing to leave you with, it would be, don't be that chiropractor. Don't be the one that is being talked about in the next chiropractor's office. And that patient saying, I left that guy because here's what he was doing. And I'm sorry if this message offends some people out there, but I think it needs to be said more often. There's a quote, and I know I'm getting it wrong, but for those of you who don't know, she was a movie star back before my time, and I'm old. She said, those that are easily offended need to be offended more often. So I'm going to take that tack. I think that this needs to be said, and I think it'd be good for the profession if we were more or ethical as a whole. And by and large, I'm going to say that we are. It's always the ones who aren't that you hear about, right? So it's you guys I'm picking on. Thank you for listening to the Chiro Business Mojo podcast. For links to what was discussed in today's episode, check out the show notes at chirobusinessmojo.com. And be sure to jump on over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review if you liked what you heard. We'll see you next time.